Washington state legislators are proposing billions in new taxes to close the gap between what they want to spend and the amount of taxes the state is already collecting. Instead of raising taxes, legislators should cut wasteful and excessive spending. And here's one change they could make to EV subsidies to save more than $60 million. Last year, taxpayers subsidized the purchase of electric vehicles with instant rebates of up to $9,000. And it was claimed that these subsidies would increase EV sales by about 8,700 cars. Instead, it increased sales by about half that amount, with many of the subsidies going to people who were going to buy EVs anyway. The result was that the program reduced the state's transportation-related CO2 emissions by a maximum of 0.03%, according to the estimate from the EPA. And many of the subsidies went to people living in the wealthiest parts of the state. Governor Inslee's budget would actually have increased funding for that wasteful program to $62.5 million. That spending should be canceled. This is just one example of wasteful spending using revenue from the state's CO2 tax, but it's a good example of how little accountability there is for actual environmental benefit from state spending. Over the past decade, the proposed budget would result in an increase of more than 50% in total spending above inflation and population. Washington needs to reduce needless and wasteful state spending, not increase taxes.